know what a third grader could tell you? Well, for one thing, whether or not they'll be ready for college. So glad you're with us on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Joining us, Swati Adarkar. And Swati is the president and CEO of Children's Institute. Thanks so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure.
So third grader's going to come up to you and say, college, not so much for me. No, it's not that simple, but actually you can tell by a third grader with their benchmarks whether or not they're going to be prepared when it comes time for college.
It seems hard to believe that just as young as a child would be in third grade, 8 or 9 years old, that we have a high knowledge now of their likelihood to graduate from high school. But truthfully, if you're not on grade level reading by third grade, your chances are very, very slim of graduating from high school. But really, the roots of that problem start much sooner. It's not really about preparing a third grader to take a test. It's about how are we providing the needed care services and supports prenatally all the way through to make sure kids are on track and developing along the way so we know that they make that benchmark.
Where does your research come from when you discuss third graders?
So the research has been done all over the country. This is one of the most powerful things. Several studies have been done, one by the Annie E. Casey Foundation and others reconfirming the importance of third grade. But you know, any leading educator in any state in the United States, you can bet, are looking at that key benchmark because of the solid evidence we have, again, from a number of studies. And you know, what I find in talking with teachers is they just know that. It's from their experience. And on the ground, what that looks like is why third grade is important, is that's the pivotal time when you're moving from learning to read to know, from reading to learn. And I think when children don't have those basic building blocks of knowing how to read, they struggle as the content gets more complicated.
And here's more bad news for you if you didn't have enough already in your life. A third of all third graders in Oregon are not up to benchmark?
It's true. It's really a grim statistic, and it's actually more than a third of our young kids aren't on grade level at third grade. And what's worrisome is if you look at children in poverty and children of color, it's even more stark, with roughly 50% of African American, Native American, and Hispanic children not meeting those benchmarks. So we know there's a lot of work to do.
And your research holds true because the same number, pretty much a third of high schoolers aren't prepared for college.
Correct. So a third of Oregon high school students aren't graduating on time. What's more important for us to take hold of is the evidence is in on what really works. You know, this isn't a problem without a solution. And we have abundant solutions that include appropriate health services that allow for on-track development, particularly in those early first couple years, starting with prenatal care. We know that rich, high-quality early learning experiences that include parents and teachers and thinking about that sort of partnership that allow for conversation and rich language. It turns out that a loving relationship and conversation are essentially the most key ingredients to life success and school success.
So getting teachers, parents, and the community on the same page is integral.
It's absolutely essential, and we don't work that way. We're used to working specialization, and specialization helps us sometimes, but not when it comes to human development. We need all hands embracing kids and what they need for optimal development.
All right, we have about 20 seconds. You have a pilot program in 2 schools in Oregon. Can you quickly tell me about those?
We do. It's called Early Works, Earl Boyles Elementary School in Portland and Yoncalla in the Yoncalla School District in Southern Oregon. One urban, one rural. And what's fantastic about those schools is they're partnering with early learning providers and parents to reimagine the starting line for education.
Swati Adarkar, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for being here as well. We're on the set of Grimm. So glad you're with us on Comcast Newsmakers. Make it a great day, everyone.